One. Hello.
Happy Sunday shift.
Happy Sunday shift. Thanks for joining us again. Make sure that you like, you share, you subscribe. Thank you for joining us. We hope that you're having a happy holiday. Thank you for people who are buying us coffees on that site. You're amazing this week. Want to shout out both Stephen and Janice. Um, Stephen and I talk about Taylor Swift. He probably is the person who knows the most about the Taylor Swift songs I'm into. So
All right.
thank you for indulging me in that. He's also like Hive, so like we just be into the same things, and I really love that. And he listens to us, so thank you.
Thank you,
Um,
Steven.
ooh, that little heart thing happened. Is that a Zoom update?
I guess. I don't know.
Okay, now
Did
we're
you hit
trying
the
it.
react? Like,
I didn't hit anything. I didn't hit
oh,
anything.
I just hit
Oh,
that. That is a Zoom update.
wow. Okay. Look at us. Well,
Yay! For
aside
that
from finding
period.
out about fun Zoom updates, how was your week?
Um, Pretty chill.
Hmm.
I did a couple of, well, I've done like several bike rides throughout Oakland and Alameda looking for Christmas lights. That's what I do. I ride
Hmm.
my bike all around looking at houses. And then for the first time, I went to San Jose.
Okay.
Now, so San Jose does this thing where they call it Christmas in the Park. And inside of Cesar de Chavez Park, um, a whole bunch of trees are put up, a whole bunch of just medium-sized Christmas trees that organizations or businesses decorate. And so there's
Oh,
like
that's cute.
hundreds of trees that are decorated in different ways. Some of them are just advertising the business. Some of them have a theme, like I found a Star Wars theme, obviously. I found some other themes like Scrooge or Frozen, but some of them are done by preschool. So you have little pictures of hand drawn ornaments, or you have pictures of PTA. There's some done by unions. There's some,
As it
but
should
there's
be.
also some, yeah, and there's some done by some of them are memorials to people that have passed away. It's really neat, and so you can walk through and look at the trees. They sell cocoa, some really good cocoa, churros. They sell
Love
caramel
that.
apples. They have a skating rink across the street, but then they also at another nearby park have it lit up in different kinds of light decorations that you can drive through. It's about a mile long to look at. And so I did that as well, and that was pretty neat. They charge like 25, I don't mean to be advertising, but basically it's great. If you guys have an opportunity, if you live in the Bay Area, come to San Jose and visit their Christmas in the Park, and they keep it up until New Year. So I got the chance to do that. It was the first time I did it, so that was really nice. Did that last night.
Well,
So now, yeah.
we actually have to do like more telling our friends because I was like looking, they have like a wrap for like podcasts or whatever, like how Spotify
Oh,
does. And most of the people who listen to us are not in the Bay. So I like think about how we like
oh,
talk about very Oakland specific things. I know people are like, what are y'all talking about?
okay. Sorry, everyone who don't live in the Bay Area.
I
But
had no
yeah.
idea until I saw this. I was like, oh, shout out to New York, where a lot of our people come from, actually.
Shout out to New York. I want to go to New York one day, y'all. So, I haven't been brave enough to do it because there always seems to be a blizzard in New York. But I want to do it one day. I want to spend Christmas in New York, maybe go to
Oh,
Broadway
like Home Alone
shows.
2.
Yeah. Oh, I haven't watched that, but yeah, I still want to do it. So
Oh,
one day, y'all.
I got into my Christmas bag that's what I've been
Mm.
doing. I Christmas is my favorite holiday, so I like to celebrate basically from the day after Thanksgiving until January 1st. Um, so I've been watching a lot of Christmas movies, and then I actually finally finished Ted Lasso, which
Oh,
just all the emotions. I loved it. If you love Ted Lasso, you've watched it. I'm late to the party, so basically all the conversations have already been had.
yeah.
So, if you watch Ted Lasso, hit me up. We can talk
I
about it.
haven't
So my
watched it, but it's gotten a lot of awards, so I'm glad to hear that it is definitely deserving of the awards that it's gotten. Like it's won a lot of
yeah.
Golden Globes and Emmys and stuff, so that's
It's
cool.
very sugary sweet. Um, and like optimistic. I was like
Hmm.
talking about this, and then we can like move on. But I was talking about this with a friend. Maybe I'll do like a little Twitter thread about it, but about like shows that exist in time capsules, so that like I mean you can enjoy them anytime, but they definitely represent. You don't even have to talk about the time period, but they represent that time period. So you think about like
Mm.
the aught or the Clinton era, or like the Bill Clinton era before the aught. That's like the West Wing, like that kind of like
Hmm.
feeling about government. And then like the Bush years, like that's like Homeland. You really couldn't have had that show before or after. And then I think like the Obama years, I think about Parks and Rec. That's such a whatever kind of show. Um, and I think about Ted Lasso as being like a really pandemic show. I think it would have been popular anytime, but people needed that like version of TV during the pandemic.
Hmm.
Yeah. And very Midwestern Ted, white dude.
Ah!
It's very I recognize it as like just like the very nice white dudes I know. So it was like familiar.
Cool.
You know, you
Nice.
know. Let's get
How
into
is that?
GH. Oh, what'd you say?
I was gonna say, how is the rest of your week other than that?
It was fine. I did nothing. I watched movies. I gave gifts to my nephews. It was a joy to watch them open them.
Mm,
Seeing friends. It's been good.
cool.
Let's get into the show. Who was your performer of the week?
Oh my goodness. I don't even know. I just did not even think about who would be a performer of the week.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, it was like so short. It was like
It
only
was
three
short.
days. Um, who would I do? I don't even know. Let me like just give because I guess I didn't really pick out one. I'm sorry, y'all. Um,
It's
let's
good.
shout out to Lucas for
That's
giving
exactly
it
what I was
to
thinking about.
to giving it to Willow. That was great. That was the highlight. I think that was the highlight of my week. Him going off on Willow in the
Mm-hmm.
clan. Um, I
Yeah.
also thought it was I thought the scene what Jack Brennan going to Carly's for Christmas was great. And so I don't know if I've ever given a shout out to that actor. But I'm enjoying him, loving him. Thank you for being on this show.
He's
Thank you very
very,
much.
very charming. And
Yes.
his like kind of parental chemistry with Jocelyn like
Yeah.
did make me think like, dang, maybe he would have been a good Jax, you know?
Ooh,
Um,
yeah.
yeah, that was like the thing people wanted from him, or like that's been like
Uh-huh.
conversation. So I
Hmm.
really liked their interactions. But yeah, Lucas, what is the actor's name? I don't want to mess
Ooh,
it up. Anyway, actor that plays Lucas, shout out to you.
okay.
I like that scene, and we'll get into that scene, could have gone so many ways,
Oh
right?
yeah.
Like and the way his behavior, like the way he chose to act, like the what am I saying, the acting choices that he made.
Yes. Van.
I can
So
I can talk.
Van Hansis is the actor that plays Lucas, and Charles Measure, the actor that plays um Jack Brennan.
Right, right.
Yes.
So he like Van Hessen, Um,
Yeah, Hansis.
really great. Love the choices that he made because the way he came in was like that could have gone either way. You could have been like, "Bro, why are you here in other people's business?" Really similar to Nina, or you could have
Uh-huh.
been like sympathetic, like Ava was.
Right.
And the difference was in the acting choices. And he has
Hmm.
just been, for me, the MVP recast of the year. He's been so good. I've really enjoyed him. He's knocked out every scene out of the park. Has had like incredible chemistry with everybody he's put with,
Hmm.
and just seamless. Like there was no hiccups with him. It was just boom, and he's ready. So
Yeah. So I'll give those my kudos for the week.
well, we had a short week, so we are gonna talk about some of the storylines. We're gonna do a preview of next week, which is also gonna be a short week. And then there was a TV Line article that has like a preview of 2025. So we're gonna
Hmm.
like dip into that as well. So if you usually don't listen to the week ahead, listen to that because we're gonna actually have a full conversation after that. Okay. First things first, Rice Plaza Christmas. So basically, we had the big tree up, and Laura gave her speech. We had LNL2 there. We had the Spencer family there with Laura, uh, Lucky, and Lulu. We had apparently Laura has forgiven Sunny because they hugged. I guess.
Again, I feel like we've been having this conversation over and over again. They keep forgiving each other, or I don't know, and it
Yeah.
just still seems up in the air in terms of whether or not Laura is going to support Sunny. At least, and we'll talk about this more. The brief part of the previews that I read, they're like, "Will Laura, support Sunny in the new year?" And I'm just like, okay, is it official that they've forgiven each other or is it not official?
It looks that way. I mean, Lucky went to go
Yeah,
see him, and it all looks like things are forgiven between the two of them. We
right.
also had Jordan and Isaiah with a really cute
Hmm.
scene. How did you feel about everything that was going on at Rice Plaza before we
I
get
thought it
into
was
like some of the storylines?
I thought it was cute. I don't think it's the I think traditionally GH has had the Christmas tree in General Hospital and someone dressed up as
Yeah.
Santa Claus and reading to the little kids. And
Mm-hmm.
they didn't do that this year. And it used to be, I guess, the patriarch of GH that does it, whether it was Alan Quartermain or Edward. But
Kevin.
yeah, maybe because Kevin, yeah, so maybe because we don't have that anymore. Um, they're deciding to do this whole Rice Plaza thing, um, which is fine, I guess. It's an opportunity for everyone to gather and, watch the tree be lit up. So that was cute. There were some storylines that disappointed me, um, which, yeah, it was the one with Lulu. Um, I was happy that, so the happy ending happened where Charlotte calls Rocco or texts Rocco, and Rocco takes a picture of Lulu so Charlotte can see. And then they had this great phone call, which was awesome. But then Lulu takes off to go and run after Charlotte, and I saw that crestfallen look on Rocco's face. Shout out to the actor that plays Rocco as well.
Mm-hmm.
He looked so sad, even though he wanted to help his mom. It was like this was the opportunity for him to spend Christmas with his mom, and she just runs off to go and chase after Charlotte. I felt so bad for him. I was like, she
Yeah.
couldn't wait. I mean, she really could not wait 24 hours.
Yeah.
Um,
Um, Finn Carr is the actor that plays Rocco.
yeah.
I'm very impressed with him. Really
Hmm.
enjoy his portrayals. I, as you know, I don't like Lulu. I don't enjoy Lulu, and this is just another example of why I don't. So this is like Rocco's Christmas. I was confused as to even Laura being like, "Oh, come and like spend this Christmas with your family," because part of the what was supposed to be happening is all of it.
Hmm.
I can't talk today, y'all. Woo. I was frustrated because part of what we had seen was that people were coming together for Rocco, Danny, and Scout. And now we have adults making decisions that are pulling those
Hmm.
kids apart. So Rocco, who has depended on Dante for so much, um, like now doesn't have Dante or Lulu because
Right.
Lulu asked Rocco to lie for her to like go so she could run off and go get go get Charlotte. So he lies to his father when he finally tells the truth. Dante goes off too. So now Rocco has lost the surrogate mother and Sam. This is the first Christmas without her. And his mother and father are both gone, essentially making it look like his sister is more important than him. And his sister
Yeah, that
isn't
was
not
very
in any immediate danger. So
exactly.
it was one of those things where it was like even before that when they were at Rice Plaza, Laura was like, "Oh, classic Lulu." There has to be a point where we grow people up. Classic Lulu doesn't work when your classic Lulu selfishness is impacting these kids who we're supposed to care about. And they're not off screen kids, they're on screen kids who we care about more than we care about some of y'all. So it just like reminded me one, why I don't care for Lulu, and like the limitation with some of these with like the decisions that writers make. I don't mind drama at all. I love drama. I love messiness. But there has to be like some balance of like what that messiness means to like the rest of the show and like how am I supposed to continue to invest in or care about a character as that messiness is happening. So how did you feel about
Yeah.
Lulu running off?
I mean, um, so yeah, I didn't like that she chose to run off. If we want to talk about, now that she found Charlotte and what those scenes are, it was great to see Charlotte. Actress is growing up to be a lovely young lady.
Yes.
And it did sound like Charlotte was excited to see her mom and happy that her mom's awake. They still have a great bond. But clearly, she feels that she needs to stay with her dad. And, Lulu then kind of lies and says, okay, well, I'm not going to push you. Clearly, she has designs on trying to track Charlotte down and bring Valentine down, which is disappointing. Valentine is a good dad, despite what's going on with him running and being a fugitive and doing all the things. Um, and so
I I
it's
did
a
laugh at
very,
Lulu air tagging Charlotte. I was like,
yeah,
what's
I was
going
like,
on?
really, I was hoping that, Lulu would be like, okay, so I've seen my daughter, she's happy, she's not, being abused or anything like that. I'm gonna have my, pastry with her or whatever it was that they were gonna drink or eat or share, and then go home to my son. This is what I would have wanted for that to make it, more, but again, drama for drama's sake. But I love the conversation they had. I liked the reunion. It was great. And I especially loved seeing Valentine show up. And
Yeah.
like staring them down like that was crazy. He had a crazy look on his face. But I'm excited to see him back on the show, back on screen. I'm really excited for that.
I have a complicated relationship with
Mm.
Valentine because I really liked Vanna. I thought they had
Uh-huh.
like amazing chemistry. I liked their story. I liked their cat and mouse. I liked everything they like the two actors put into that couple. And I
Mm.
hated what the show did to it. I hated how the show basically like just re-villainized Valentine after we watched him go through this arc. Um, I'm stuck in the middle. Like, I mean, if it was my kid, yeah, I would want to go get her. But Charlotte was really clear that even if Lulu would have been awake, she would have left for with Valentine. And that's always
Mm.
been my point, is that Charlotte's always cared about Valentine more than she's cared about Lulu. Always. Like, that's her papa. She was basically like, girl, I'm happy you are up. Why don't you go home to my brother? Like, it wasn't, you know what I mean? It just was like such a, for me, like,
Are you frozen or am I frozen? Oh, hello?
sorry, y'all, we had a technical difficulty. I'm gonna have to beg somebody to like splash together these recordings for us because I surely do not know how to do it.
Right.
But we're here. So anyway, we were talking about Valentine. I was just saying that I am frustrated with the way he's been written. Um, I am interested to see what they're going to do. I'm interested to see if he's going to be a long term character that they're bringing back, or if he has a story arc that he is like fixing or finishing up. So I don't know. Oops.
We'll see. I hope he's back for a while
Me
and not
too.
just a
Me
drop
too.
by.
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I like I said, I like Vanna a lot. I feel like the show is really lacking in romance, and intrigue. It feels like everybody is just either like some kind of off-screen couple doing a story that I don't care about, or they're in like
Hmm.
the yearning phase, but they're not a couple yet.
Hmm.
Let's get some
Yeah.
couples going.
Yeah. Speaking of couples, let's go back to Jordan and Isaiah at Rice
Yes,
Plaza.
yes.
So I thought, I mean, I think they're having a lot of cute little interactions. And like I said last week, they just up the ante. Let them go for it. Let him kiss her or do something. I thought though, him giving her was it a wrap towel that won't
Mm-hmm.
slip was a cute little joke. So,
Yeah.
but I think he's trying. And so I think did they already go out to dinner? Feel like
I
they've
think
done something
so. I think that
already.
just we haven't seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe yeah. So I want to see them do a dinner and then have an after dinner rendezvous. I don't know.
Right.
Let's just get it going. Let's do this.
Give
Do
us
it.
some romance with them. I
Right.
want
Yes.
candlelight dinner. I want
Hmm.
chatting. I want
Yes.
like him popping game. Like this is what I want from them. Let these
Right.
two beautiful people like develop themselves, be a couple, and then we can get the drama. I actually don't need a whole lot of other stuff with them because they're very cute and we're ready for them to go with it.
Yes. Bring it on. Love in the
Uh,
afternoon.
11, please, please. Tired of it. Now I did laugh. I talked about this last week about like how it's so silly it was that Carly brought Brendan to the house, and Sonny was like, "What is this?" I do appreciate that Carly is Sonny's favorite baby mama. He was just like, "Okay, girl, like whatever you need, when you need it, I'll be there."
Yes.
Contrast that with
So
Jason, who wouldn't even talk to him.
I know Jason was being Jason, but it was hella funny. It was hilarious. Which is, and a lot of, I've heard some comment that, we don't get to see Steve Burton play up his comedic, talents. And maybe you said that, Tracy, but I thought it was, I thought he is hilarious. And he does well
Hmm.
when he's with Spinelli and Maxie, and the whole
Hmm.
comedy stuff, playing the straight guy. And so he kind of did that today, or this week, and it was funny. And it wasn't even necessarily meant to be funny, I don't think, but I thought it was great.
It was so funny.
So
Every time Brennan would like try to shake his hand, he just looked at it.
right.
Or
Sonny
when
did the same thing. Sonny did the same thing, just stared at him.
or when he came over to talk to him and when it was like Jason and Carly were standing together, Brennan came over. Jason was just like, I'm out.
All right, peace. So, yeah.
Um, I did
Uh,
really like the scenes with Danny and Jason when they talked about
mhm.
Sam. I thought those were very
Yeah.
sweet. I thought they were very well done. And I appreciate that they are not forgetting Sam in this world.
Hmm.
Like she is very present in the holidays. She's very present in her children. She is very present in the way that people are interacting with each other.
Yes, and and just briefly again going back to Rice Plaza, I mean Dante, I mean he kept bringing up Sam, kept bringing up the fact that he wasn't celebrating the holiday with her, and
Yeah.
yeah, so he's definitely still grieving the loss. And my only critique, I guess, would be the fact that Danny, Rocco, and Scout aren't spending any part of Christmas so far. They haven't spent Christmas
Hmm.
together. And, their goal was to stay with each other, and yet they can't be together over the holiday, especially now that Rocco doesn't have either of his parents.
And that Drew took Scout.
Yeah. And Drew took Scout, it's like it's very sad. So hoping maybe the brothers get together for New Year's or something, but it's sad to me that they can't spend this holiday together.
Right. No, it's mm, I have feelings about all of these grown-ups because I'm like, these are my
Yes,
kids. Um,
right.
I also really loved Jocelyn and Michael playing cards together.
Hmm.
And I liked what Jocelyn did. Whereas like she was clearly trying to be on for her family, but she needed to take that moment. Like that felt really real to me that like, this is like a really important day for your family. You're trying to
Hmm.
like be present. You don't want them to be worried about you. So you want to be like involved, but you also need to take
Hmm.
that moment away. I appreciated that.
Yes. And despite how Jason and Sunny were acting, the rest of the family were trying to be accommodating to Jack.
Hmm.
So I appreciate that dynamic. Like the kids are like, yeah, Carly's gonna have a friend, she's gonna have a guest, and we're dealing with it. Sunny, Jason and Sunny are just like, this ain't happening. But
Yeah.
appreciate the kids behaving.
Yeah. Off screen down
Yeah.
in
Yeah. Donna with the
it
stickers.
I will also say that it is frustrating to me, and I know that we're gonna get into them, but that this was like already established party that Michael
Mhm.
didn't have his children for. And
I
Nina
know.
had to make up a party for the kids. That to
Hmm.
me, I don't know, man. I typically never take the man's side, but I'm squarely on Michael's side.
I think a lot of the audience are squarely on Michael's side, which is, and I don't know, and I don't want to say it is unfortunate in the sense that, Willow sleeping around with people shouldn't be an indicator of how good of a mother she is, but it just seems so wrong and so heinous that she's not allowing Michael to spend Christmas with his kids, and he didn't do anything except be a witness to her infidelity. As far as she knows, she doesn't know that he slept with Sasha yet.
I
But still, either
I think it's
way,
so funny that the audience
yeah,
isn't. I mean, I can't speak for the whole audience, but I don't even care because Drew and
yeah,
Willow
I
are
don't either.
so flagrant.
Right.
I'm like,
And the way that they're talking, like Michael and his family are definitely are going to go all out in war against Willow over these kids, but Michael right now is still in the mindset that he wanted to save his marriage until Willow, or at least Nina, served him with these separation papers, and it
and
was
still does.
still does. He still wants to fight it, or he still wants to, repair his marriage. So I guess that's part of the reason why the audience is like, she's so wrong, and Drew is
Hmm.
so disgusting because they're acting like their love is sincere and wonderful. And and then that, they don't deserve to be picked on. I'm like, These are gross.
This is like the problem that I get with with the writing, which is that again, I said this before. I don't mind messy. I don't mind an affair. I don't
Hmm.
mind whatever. I don't like the way it's being talked about. So the problem, I mean, I do think it's gross, right?
Hmm.
Particularly because like we got whatever's going on with like possibly with Jason and Sasha, and now with and also with Drew and Willow. Like what is going on with Alan's sons being with women young enough to be their daughters? I don't know. I would like for that to stop, or being around in the orbit of women young enough to be their daughters. But particularly with Drew, we don't get like what we are seeing is Michael wanting to save his marriage despite his wrongdoing, and Willow already throwing the marriage away to be with Drew. After we sat here and heard you be like, oh, this was a mistake, I shouldn't have done, whatever, whatever. I don't know, especially when they talk about it in the press, like, Cameron Mathison was like, oh, like it could be this love story. Not the way it's currently being written, it couldn't, because we are not on your side. We're on
No,
Michael's side because
right.
Michael is not in the wrong. We're seeing Michael be like beaten down, and we're also seeing Willow not be able to make decisions for herself. Willow looks like an idiot.
Yeah.
She's in there while both Nina and Drew are like manipulating her and lying to her,
Hmm. And
and
they were,
Michael wants her back.
and I feel like we're missing the confrontation between Willow and Michael that the audience deserves, right? Michael should have the opportunity to talk to Willow and be like, why did you cheat on me with him? Do you love him? Is this the end of our marriage? What is going on? They still haven't had that conversation. And they're in like
Right.
Willow is being pulled in that direction. She has no idea how Michael feels, but she's doing a lot of assuming. And so
Mm-hmm.
and Nina and Drew are doing the same thing. And I don't think that like I want to see the confrontation. I want to see the conversation between Michael and Willow and have them come to terms with what happened. And I don't know if the writers are going to let us have it. Sounds
Mm,
like they're not.
that's the point. But I think the other
Yeah.
part to what you're saying is like Willow, not Willow, but Mike Nina and Drew are not just assuming, they're manipulating,
Yeah.
right? Because
Right.
they both like Nina was been really clear that she doesn't want Willow with Michael.
Hmm.
So she has been treating Michael as an enemy regardless and bringing back stuff like, oh, he's this, he's that. We've only seen Michael since he decided to be nice to Nina and include her in the family.
Exactly.
Nina Nina is like, he's gonna do this, he's gonna do that, and encouraging her to go to war without talking to her husband because she wants access to Willow. She wants to be Willow's everything. Drew is encouraging her to go to war because Drew wants to be with her. So you have Willow over here looking stupid. But here's the thing, you ain't gonna fool me. I still don't like Willow either. It don't matter how many people on this show talk about how innocent she is or how bad Drew is, or they had Christina literally say to Michael, I feel bad for Willow. Because like, we've all done some things we couldn't take back. Willow
Ma'am.
don't want to take it back. Willow,
Right.
Willow tried to take Michael's kids in the dead of the night, and then have them spend a holiday with the man that she cheated on him with instead of their father. That's what Willow did.
Right.
So you can't fool me with this dialogue about poor Willow because poor Willow is a lying whore.
Hmm. And Michael's had her back from the very beginning, from the get-go.
Hmm.
And she has the gall to do this and justify it. I don't understand it at all.
Hmm.
And I think that's part of the reason why the audience is just so like on Michael's side. Because
Yes.
she's like, it's crazy.
And
He's
if they would have writing a story where Michael was being conniving towards Willow, where like
Uh-huh.
right now you're writing a very one-sided story. Even with Sasha and Michael, Michael's not trying to have this mistress, like he's not trying to do any of that. He so like yeah, he was obviously wrong for cheating, and like he named that when he talked to Jason,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not seeing him. We didn't see him like pull forward like an emotional affair for months.
Mm-mm.
We didn't see him sleeping with somebody in the nursery. That's not what we saw of Michael. We don't even see him trying to get back with Sasha now. We see Willow already moving on from her marriage with to the man that she cheated on Michael with. So it's hard to
Mm-hmm.
be on her side. I can't be on her side because why would I be?
Right. And so when Lucas confronts her and she's all, "You don't have a right to judge me." I'm like, "Yes, he does.
Yes, it is.
Everybody's everybody's judging you right now. We have every right to judge you because what you're doing is hella foul."
Have
Yeah.
some shame. That's
She
the
has
other
none.
part. They have
Yeah.
no shame. You know what you
No
did? You talking to
remorse.
Drew? You talking to Drew up in public? You invited him into your mama house. You did all of this, and we're supposed to like have some have some like sympathy for you. I don't.
And then Drew having the gall to be like, "Well, I was grieving Sam." Ooh, Lord,
I could
sir.
have jumped through my TV. I know you effing lying.
She's trying to help me through a horrible time. First of all, and we didn't really talk about this too much, but Drew has shown the least amount of grieving for Sam than anyone on the show.
Speak on it.
Shed not a tear, not a pause, nothing.
Can't
And he's
even
talking about,
be can't even be loving to Danny because what we've seen from Jason is Jason has been concerned for Scout. What we have not seen
yes.
from Drew is any concern for Danny. Drew is trash. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's true. And even when he supposedly cared about Scout, it was more about him wanting to manipulate or control Scout, like way back when he was trying to get Scout to go to a certain private school. It
Mm,
wasn't because Scout wanted to go there or Scout had particular, um, you know, skills or something that needed to be, flourished in a private school or anything like that. It was just
mm-hmm,
him wanting to make sure that he put Scout in a situation that he wanted. It's never been about Scout really. And so him as a parent to Scout is like really crazy. It's always been Sam who's been the mother who's taken care of Scout, who loved Scout and thought about her 24/7. And so ever since, Drew became or Ryan Lavery became Drew or Cameron Matheson had taken on the role, Drew has never been Drew has never been that great parent. And
right.
even less so. He doesn't care about how Scout feels or anything. He's taking her away from her brothers. He's making these wild decisions based off of what he wants to do with his career. It's just really crazy. And so for him to be like, "I'm gonna pull Scout and we're gonna move because Jason moved into the Quartermains," or anything like, he's horrible. He's trash. Trash parent, trash um former, husband, trash everything. Trash Quartermain. I don't see how he would be a
Absolutely.
good I don't see how he'd be a good politician. I don't know. A lot of people think politicians act like that anyway. I've seen some really good ones. He's not that. He's trash.
And he's messy. You know, it's not even about
Messy.
like I don't. You don't need to be like
Yeah.
necessarily a good person, but you
Right.
can't be a mess this way. You know what I mean? Like
Yes.
it's so public, it's so nasty. You are encouraging Willow to go after these kids.
Mm.
Like you're saying to her, it don't matter, go after these babies. Not you were a co-parent before Sam passed. And so instead of
Hmm.
being a co-parent with with or like encouraging her to be a co-parent for her children, you are encouraging her to take the children who are related to you away from their father.
All
And
because
but
now he's mad. Now he's mad at Michael because Michael took his company away.
and we haven't even
Mm-mm.
heard Willow say, "Oh, I want to go I want to go half with or like 50-50 with custody. I want to do
Right.
whatever with custody with this."
It's all
Like
about
it's all about going to war.
right. And then yeah, even when Michael went to see Diane, he was like, "We'll figure out a custody arrangement or something." It's never about him wanting to take the kids away from her. It's more about
Exactly.
defending his right to stay in their life.
Exactly. He was never like, I want to cut them away from her. He's always been, and it's also really weird for them to say, he has the kids or like she has custody of the kids. It's such a weird language thing. She
Hmm.
has placements of the children right now. She don't have
Right.
custody of them kids. They got like they're in both of their custody. And it
Exactly.
actually to me shows that he is a better parent because he's like, I didn't want to fight. She tried to take these kids in the dead of the night.
Hmm.
I didn't want to fight. What is the use of Diane? Like this is supposed to be like the shark lawyer, and every time we need her to do something sharky, she's talking about she can't. She don't know if she can win. What are we going? What's going on? How
She's
do
like,
you not know if you
this is
can
gonna be
win this
tough.
case? Right now, when it come out about Michael and Sasha, that's different.
Hmm.
But now, how you don't know if you can win a case with and it don't even matter about the recording. Drew and Willow are hanging together right now. Everyone knows that they
Hmm.
slept together now. This is not something they're denying right now.
And why is it the fact that the video came out legally wrong for Michael? Like, it's not Michael's
It's
fault that
not.
she slept with a man. And so
It's
she's
not.
saying, Diane was saying, you airing the video makes you seem vindictive.
That's what they said that the lawyer was gonna like that Tad Martin was gonna
Yeah,
try to make it be, but not that that's necessarily what happened. But that is like how
yeah,
Willow is operating. That
right.
the reason she's so mad with Michael is because he didn't say, "I know you cheating." What?
Which is ridiculous.
Very ridiculous.
Yeah, that's definitely gaslighting right there.
But this is what I'm
Like,
saying. Like this
yeah.
is like the writing choices where it's like this is not 50-50. This is not a complicated situation in any regard on whose side you're going to be on. And this is what I
Right.
hate that they do because like now we know Michael is leaving. We don't know what's going to happen, but now they're going to try to write Michael like as very likely as being like unlikable.
Hmm.
Don't try to change it up now. They like I'm not gonna feel any way that's better about her because y'all have chosen to write Michael in a way that's messed up.
I don't think the audience is going to buy anything that the writers are going to give when it comes to Michael.
No,
No.
no, because
Yeah.
write better and more compelling things. They sometimes
Hmm.
just write mess for the sake of mess, but they don't think about like the other dominoes. We should not
Hmm.
have been okay with Lucas running up on her like that. But everybody's like, yeah, Lucas.
Go after her. Tell her.
Like, because technically that really ain't your business. You know what I
It really
mean?
isn't. He has
But it was
no
like,
stake
yeah.
in this whatsoever.
But it was like, yeah, you're right. Say more. Call her more
Right.
names.
Call her more days. Call her
You ain't go
out.
hard enough. You ain't go hard enough.
Right. Exactly.
So it's just, I mean, Drew trifling, Willow trifling, Nina trifling, just all
Mm,
down the line. I'm not concerned about any of them, and I don't want to. I'm not interested. I don't want to see it play out in this way that is not satisfying. And with Chad leaving, I don't know how it could be satisfying. Almost, we're still gonna watch, obviously, but I don't know how it could be satisfying with the
Right.
way with him leaving and them not having a real resolution for the story. So,
There's that.
anything else with that?
No, I think I've exhausted my thoughts on that.
BLQ and Chase. So we know that they are working to have a baby. Um, they had Brooklyn like waiting at the top of the stairs because she was like jealous that Tracy was talking to Lulu. Then we had
Mhm.
Chase tell her that he had a crush on Lulu at one point.
I don't know
What?
why that, like, why they had that conversation at all, or why Chase felt the need to say that. He could have kept that to himself
Nobody
if
needed
it
to hear
was
that or see
true.
that.
I don't even remember him having any kind of feelings about Lulu.
He didn't. They made that up. When he
Okay,
came into
yeah.
town, he was talking. He was thinking about Nell, and then
Nell, yes.
he met Willow.
Finn and Greg, yeah, Finn and Gregory and Nell were his top priorities.
Yes.
Yes,
There was never anything more than that. So that was
right.
made up. But I do want to take a moment, and I told Ty when we came on that I was going to do this. I want to take a moment to do something I rarely do, which is address the audience. Because I got to get this off my chest. I have been so frustrated. You know, I'm very rarely online, but I happen to be a little bit more online this week just because we were off work, and I saw General Hospital chatter, and oh boy, has it been upsetting.
Yeah.
So the there's long been this like underlying chatter of like Brooklyn or like the actress that plays Brooklyn, Amanda, and like the like a love scenes or like her clothes and being covered up and all of this. And there's always a speculation. She doesn't feel comfortable with her body. She's religious. There's all these speculations about like why. And my question back is, why y'all asking this? I'm not even trying to be funny. There are so many things. If you want to see half naked people going at it, go watch Bridgerton. Go watch something else. If that's not the way this couple is like designed to be, it's not the way it's gonna be. Stop speculating as to like why something is not happening. And I'm pretty grossed out at the fact that people are like, she should be fired if she's not gonna like show more skin. She should be like removed from the role if she's not going to show more skin. She should be forced to show more skin. What are we doing? And let's also be clear that this never comes and it's never also about Josh, who plays Chase, because we know he is just as religious as she is. We know that he has talked about being conservative, like as far as like his values. But all of a sudden, it's just about her. So I'm gonna just call it what it is. It's very high key sexist, and it's very high key anti-Semitic because nobody is questioning Josh's Christianity, but everybody's questioning Amanda's Jewishness, and it's gross. It really is. I don't like it, and I think people should be ashamed of themselves. We already have a show where people aren't really doing it like that anyway. This is not the 90s and the early aughts where people were like where we're just having love scenes left and right. That's not even a necessary part of characters. We don't see we don't see that complaint with Spixie. They're not doing it.
Right.
So I think in the entire run of Spixie, they may have had one love scene. The whole time that I mean, nobody liked it, but when Finn and Elizabeth were together, I think they had one love scene, maybe two. So why is it that y'all are worried? People were like, she's in bed with her robe. So what? Maybe you're not married, maybe whatever. People be in bed with their robes all the time. Now, I have had issue around wardrobe, and that's not about like what people are choosing to wear. It's about what wardrobe is choosing to put people in. Because
Hmm.
for me, that's about priorities. Like I'm not a little girl, but I'm always cute when I go out because I know how to dress and because I take pride in that and because like that's a priority for me. And so if the show is like if somebody's above a size 2, we can't dress them. We can't make sure they're both comfortable in their skin but also fashionable. That's a wardrobe issue.
Hmm.
Is that people have not given other folks any other options. And so I'm seeing this happen. At the same time, we're like having this whole conversation about what may or may not have happened with Blake Lively on the set of that movie, and people are on her side and being like, oh my God, I can't believe we need an intimacy coordinators. Where are the people that to support her? And then when we have a show that's actually supporting Amanda's choices and Josh's choices, to be clear, because let's say they're both Amanda and Josh's choices around the way they show up on screen, that's now a problem. It's gross. It's gross.
Yeah, I agree 100. I think it's really problematic that we have now become a society where it's not good enough if you're not showing all the skin. Whereas, it's really
Mm-hmm.
crazy to me. Um, and it's her personal decision. And if GH is willing to respect that, then as an audience, we should too. I think, it's really borderline harassment
Yeah.
almost, the way that they're talking about her. Um, and it's sad that she can't do her job and protect her, wishes without everyone coming down on her. It's really, really sad. She's a great actress. She's telling a story. Some married
Mm-hmm.
couples don't be like, if they are showing each other a lot of skin, that's between them two. You don't get to see that in a normal daily
Mm-hmm.
basis. So, if you want to see sexy time, then go and visit, all these sites and you can see it. You don't have to
Right.
see it, right? You don't have to see it on this show. And if the show does
Mm-hmm.
decide to do that, that's fine too. But let's respect people's personal wishes on what they want done because it's their
Mm-hmm.
own body. That's what's called body autonomy, is
Oh,
letting
talk
people
about it.
either show their body or not show their body, and everyone should just be okay with it
That's
instead
right.
of attacking her as an actress and attacking the show. It's really ridiculous. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, so if you don't like it, turn the channel. But I think she's telling a good story. She's doing a good job, and we need to leave her alone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah.
100%. And for me, I'm also looking at it like when it was Jex, everybody complained about how much they were having sex. So to me, it always feels a little agenda-y when we complain about something about people. It's like, do you just not like Chilean? Then say that. That's fine. You don't have to like them. But
Mm,
not liking Chilean don't have to end with you talking about this woman's like choices around her body and her religion. It really doesn't. It really doesn't. And I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. If you watch the show and you feel that way, I don't know what to tell you. I said I stand on everything I said. You know.
100.
But we do have them trying for a baby. We have Lois being really weird around like the grandchild thing. So we have the anvils falling around Geo. I will say that I am not interested in this idea of the show punishing a woman with like not with like infertility
Mhm.
because of like past choices around pregnancy. Like that's such a trope, and I really hate that trope. And we've already had an infertility story with Molly. So I'm just really
Mhm.
hoping that that's not the story that we're telling.
Yeah, I agree. I don't have anything more to say though. It sounds like the secret is going to come out soon.
Hopefully.
I want it to hurry up and come out because they're
For
teasing
real.
us. They are seriously teasing us. I mean, he's been on for almost a year now.
And he about to get my deck story. Anyway, let's move on. A Scorpio family Christmas. We have obviously Cody showed up. I actually do. I know that you don't like Cody. I do like his interactions with James. And then Sasha obviously is there. And then we have Emma show up. And so Emma is back in town. Um, mm.
I
were you a Scrubs fan?
I was a Scrubs fan. And I
Mm-hmm.
thought Emma being cute and innocent and always about happiness and sunshine and peace was great when she was a little kid. I
Mm-hmm.
think I'm not too upset that Emma now seems to have a little spice to her. I think it's intriguing. I felt the scene that she had with Jocelyn, like, ooh, I was just waiting to see what happened. I was expecting Joss to clap back at her, but Joss was grieving, so she's, just taking it all in. But I thought it was spicy. I thought it was intriguing. Her going off on her grandma though, you know, w Black folks have a different way of interacting with our parents. So she was talking to Anna. I was like, girl, I need you to calm down. That's your grandma. Don't be talking to your grandma any kind of way or treat her house any kind of way. Hella disrespectful. But, I guess if that's if that's what's allowed. But I love how Anna, was on top of her. Yeah, yeah, it would make sense for you to want to transfer if you actually were part of the school, but you got expelled. Because I kept remembering, I was just like, when I was thinking about it, she's like, yeah, I'm just going to transfer to PCU. I was like, you're going to leave Berkeley to go to PCU? Like, what?
Apparently, PCU is a better school than we thought they were.
Like, for real? And like, weren't you into like some sort of neuroscience something track? Um, and now, so PCU now is a top art school, a top football school, and now a top neuroscience school. I'm like, what the hell? PCU is doing some big things. They must like, I'm surprised. Like maybe Sunny's giving a lot of money to PCU too. I just like I don't get it. So, but whatever. I'm
Yeah.
liking a lot of people feel some kind of way about Emma not being nice anymore, her not being the sweet, you know, conscious of the town. I'm intrigued. I just kind of want to see where it goes, but I can see why the other actress that played Emma, it would have been a switch to have her have that kind of same attitude coming back. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I thought she had like a cute little spark with Geo, so that's
Yeah.
interesting. Um, I thought the whole story around like her getting, I mean, I just feel like I know too much about college campuses to be like, she got kicked out of school for maybe throwing a party. That's not, you don't get kicked out of school for that. Um,
And then making
I,
like she's like supposedly made the whole dorm homeless.
whatever. Um, I I don't mind a spicy Emma at all.
Yeah.
I think part of the problem with like Joss and Trina is that they've never really made them spicy enough.
All right.
Um, I didn't like the interaction with Jocelyn. If they had like real beef around something real, I would have been fine with it. But her rolling up on Jocelyn, yeah, her rolling up on Jocelyn, talking to her about cheating on Cameron, I could care less. You know, I didn't care about her cheating on Cameron when it happened. So I certainly don't care now. And you coming, you running up on her about something that has nothing to do with you because like y'all met often between Stanford and Berkeley, which I also don't believe because
Right.
I don't even be crossing the bridge. So I know y'all ain't
Stanford,
crossing the bridge like
yeah.
that.
Stanford and Berkeley are not like no, they
No,
aren't.
no. Like this, like I just don't believe that. So yeah, it was why she had the attitude with Joss. I I want them to move beyond whatever it is they're doing. Like the only fights that they can have are about boys. I, no,
I mean,
unnecessary. I'm not. And let it be a fight about something real, like not about a boy neither one of y'all want to be with.
mhm. I mean, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to do a callback to history, I guess.
Sure.
But they're grown now. They were little kids then. And
Hmm.
so, having it still be that kind of issue seems really weird. But
Yeah.
yeah.
No, I just am not. So what something I also found to be really, really like missing, so big hole in all the plots is conversation about Spencer and like what it means to have this
Hmm.
first Christmas without Spencer. So like that should
Yeah.
have been I feel like that should have been had within like everybody that Laura was talking to. Like even if like that could have been an interesting way for her and Sunny to interact and just like hugging because it's their first Christmas without Spencer. Um, that's certain. If Emma is bringing up Cameron in a really snotty way to Jocelyn, you could have started off with some like sympathy to be like, yeah, like I'm so sad that we lost Spencer. Remember all those things, that happened between us. Remember all, whatever. And that's why, given our history, I'm so surprised to hear about you and Cameron or whatever it is, because
Yeah.
Spencer has died since Cameron and Jocelyn broke up.
Yeah. And
So what are
actually
we talking about?
the more spicy rivalry was not between Joss and Emma, it was more between Spencer and Cameron. Because
Yeah,
they're the ones that were fighting over,
Emma.
Emma.
Yeah,
They were fighting over Emma. Emma was just like blasé and loving everybody, except she didn't really get down with Spencer's shenanigans. But yeah, having her not mention Spencer was a real loss, um, a real
having
mistake for
her
the writers.
having her not mention Spencer but come in so hot about Cameron. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Because to your point around history, that it could have been, it's so crazy to know that he's gone. We used to be so
right,
close growing up. We even had that rivalry with Cameron. And
right.
then like have that be a beat. And then be like, and that's why I was so surprised to find out you cheated. Like whatever it
Mhm.
was.
Yeah,
But the way that it was written, the snot like it's to know that we know that Jocelyn's grieving, and then to have her come in so hot about something that's been over that she wasn't
hmm.
even there for is crazy.
She knows that Jocelyn's grieving.
I don't think she does. I said
Yeah,
but
so
we know.
we know. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Cameron didn't even know, so it wouldn't
yeah.
make sense for him to know. Yeah, yeah. So we'll see. I will give her a chance. But if it's between her and Jocelyn, I'm always rocking with Jocelyn. Sorry, Scrubs, baby.
Yeah, Trina's gonna be 100% behind Jocelyn too, so she
Well,
gonna have
they
beef
do
with
that
both of them.
stupid stuff sometimes. Like, she
Yeah.
might not because,
Oh,
she's besties with Ava. So maybe she'll be besties with,
Emma.
who knows? Um,
Mm.
Trina and Kai. I will, I will say somebody tagged me on Blue Sky and I laughed because there was like, I have said on here a couple of times that I just really love when Tatiana gets into her comedy bag. And
Hmm.
so a person named Michael tagged me on Blue Sky and was like talking about how funny Taviana was like with her physical comedy when she was talking to the guy about Kai because the guy was like, nothing's more important than football. And there was a face that Trina made at him,
It
like,
was like, really?
yeah,
That guy was hilarious. But yeah, that guy was definitely on one talking about nothing's more important. Like, sir, you ever use your child to get an autograph?
hmm.
Uh-uh.
Um, so I do hope they like continue to let Trina get into that funny back because I feel like the relationship between Spencer and Trina was always so serious. I mean, like we had like I think a really great foundation before Esme came, but then once
Hmm.
Esme came, it was always so serious. It was heavy. The tape, the sex tape happened, like the revenge porn, the trial. Everything was always so heavy and high stakes. I do hope that they allow this to start off and have like a foundation of just being kind of fun and funny together. Because like
Yeah.
when she like even when they were talking when she like didn't know things about football or like their exchanges, she's just like real like he was like, not all heroes wear capes. And she's like, yeah, some of us wear like discount skirts from Wyndham's. Like
Windows.
yeah,
Yeah.
I
That was
like
cute.
that with her. I like them allowing her to tap into this like real strength she has around comedy, and I do hope that they continue to let her do that.
Yeah. They're still cute together, so that's good.
They are cute. They are cute. I mean, how can she not be cute with anybody? Tatiana's gorgeous. She's and like seems to be so loved behind the scenes too. So the more they let of her personality come through Trina, I think the better. We have an update on the cast on Fortune. Apparently, Ace is the heir. We got Alexis being the executor. I'm still not really clear as to how that means that Ava is broke, but I think that that's connected some kind of way.
Yeah, and I don't know. It was really weird when Lexus and Laura was like, "We're gonna give away all the money." I'm like,
Okay.
"Really?"
Like,
But that's not like it's not your decision. It's still like Martin was like, "Yeah, it's really noble, but that's not your money. It's Ace's money."
mm-hmm.
So, but that was funny. But still, and also a question like, what about Nicholas? He's still
Is he in jail
alive.
for life?
That's what I'm saying. Like, is his prison sentence a life sentence? I don't understand. Because he just kidnapped the woman. And
With
she ain't
Elizabeth,
dead.
who is
With
just the
Elizabeth. Right. Running around free. Ma'am.
mm-hmm.
They need to get Nicholas out of jail for real.
Mm. I
Stop
mean, I
stop
just
the
felt
madness.
I felt like even when Laura was like hugging Lucky and Lulu, she's like, both of my kids. I'm like, girl, what about the kid you made put himself in jail? He
Right.
couldn't even go on a run like Valentine. Uh,
Right. And you a mayor, you can't do nothing to lower his sentence. Well, I guess she's not president like Biden, but still.
I was doing something on my arm and then it just did a thumbs up. That's okay. All right.
I didn't
All
see
right,
it.
so we're doing a thing. Um, and that even that in that there wasn't like a scene with Alexis like reflecting on losing Spencer and Sam. Like
Right.
even saying like Sam helped me write Spencer's obituary. Like this is such a tough time for a just like nothing. And I obviously I like Spencer as a character, but it's also something about somebody who is so ingrained, who was so featured, and it is like a legacy part of the show who was like lost so young. If you lose
Hmm.
a 22-year-old in your life, you're gonna talk about that for a long time. And it's going to
Yeah.
show up in ways that make sense. So I don't know. I'm interested to know why that continues to happen, like why they don't think that that makes sense.
Mm.
Uh, well, the last thing I have on my list is Sunny okay? This is another editing thing. So we had like the day
Yeah.
that like Sunny kind of grabbed his chest and then like walked off,
Did he
and
walk
then
off
like
or
the
did he
next,
fall to the ground? I can't
I think he
remember if
walked
he.
off. It feels like he
Okay.
walked off, but it was like so.
We
We're
don't
not gonna
see
talk about it the
anything
next
about it the
day.
next day. Right. Like what happened? Did he call the doctor? Did he just go to bed?
To your
Did
point,
he
did
have
he actually
like
fall? And did
like
Christina hear it?
was it a heart attack or was it heartburn? Like
Right,
what happened? That's
right,
crazy.
right.
And the previews for next week shows him talking to somebody else like nothing ever happened.
Who knows? It's a very like weird thing. But this is also something I have been like thinking about because I went back and like I was watching some older stuff. And I do remember like back in the day, there's always these complaints about like people being on too much or whatever. I'm like, people who have this complaint, like I don't know, would you not watch him back in the day? Because like if you go back, if I want to watch Jason, for example, like OG Jason, I
Hmm.
can pull up a Jason playlist. He was on every single day. And that's also like part of the way that you get invested in stories and characters, that you see them day after day after day. It's not just that like we see them once a week or every other week or whatever it is. In order to actually properly be invested in a relationship and a character and character development, we actually need to see them more often. So somebody like Trina and Kai, for example, I would like to see more. Jordan and Isaiah, I need to see more because you're building a foundation. It's not just I'm gonna see them one day a week and then we'll forget about it. No, I need to see them a few days back to back to back to actually like build out caring for them. Because right now with so many of these stories, I feel like even ships on this show are based on potential. So it's all fan fiction because nothing's actually happening.
Hmm.
And so I don't know. I think that they need to figure out how to do more of that, more of actually like having more people on, moving more story forward, picking like A stories to move forward, not having it being the same people all the time. And then like letting us see people over and over so that we actually get to caring about them.
But they also need to complete stories. They can't just drop in something and then be like, oh, that didn't work. And
Yeah,
then move on. Right?
yeah,
Like they seem to be okay with us not knowing. I mean, first they made such a big deal about Kate's dying, and now we don't know any John Kate's dying, and now we don't nobody cares. You
yeah. The
know,
FBI don't
the
care.
FBI don't care either. And so now Sonny had heartburn or a heart attack, and we're not supposed to care. No, that's huge. So you need to complete your story. If you're going to have a story, complete it.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's a
Mm-hmm.
bad
Sleeping
story, at
singer.
least let us have some closure so we can move on instead of
Mm-hmm.
constantly thinking, so what happened with John Cates or what happened with Austin or, it's crazy.
Or bringing back stuff that nobody cares about. Going back to
Right.
like Jocelyn and Cameron. This happened. They like of all the things that have happened in this show, you're telling me I'm supposed to care about Jocelyn and Cameron, like Jocelyn cheating on Cameron 2 years ago? What are we talking
Right.
about? Who cares?
Yeah. Bringing Cameron back and not having him talk to Lucky, that was crazy too.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
yeah. Mm.
So that is all I got. Oh, I do have one hot take. It's like the one thing I wrote down, which is why do Maxie's kids have a playroom? The kid's too big for that.
Girl, that's something rich folks have. They have a playroom.
Get out of here.
They have playroom for the kids. That's weird.
Um, let's get into the preview. So I told you we'll do the previews for next week, and then we're gonna go through the TV Insider previews. So previews for next week, we only have 3 days again, so it's off Tuesday and Wednesday. But Monday, Elizabeth makes a big discovery. Isaiah advises Lucky. Christina gets intel from Lucas. Ava seeks out Laura. Trina shows something special to Kai.
Mm.
Okay. Thursday, Anna issues a threat. Ava seeks Alexis's assistance, which that's weird because don't Alexis hate Ava? Okay.
Right.
Michael Michael is shocked. Lulu is frustrated.
Shocked, shocked or shot?
Shocked. Like
Okay. Okay.
Lulu is frustrated. Willow receives an invitation. Okay. Friday. Sunny contemplates his future. Michael tries to leverage an advantage. Charlotte makes a decision. Jason refuses an offer. Sasha confides in Felicia. I do wonder if it's gonna be like Sunny asking Jason to take over the business,
Mm,
you know,
mm,
and then Jason says no.
right.
Okay, we're gonna see this. People who watch on YouTube, we'll see if this actually works. I don't know what it means for us to be in the corner or not. I'm gonna share my screen, and we're gonna try to see what happens. You let us know if it works out for next time. So this is TV Line Insider, or TV Insider at the TV Line. TV
Hmm.
Insider gives us a preview. They talk to the writers for 2025. First thing they talked about was Lulu and Dante. We talked about, so they're happy to have Alexa Havens in. They talked about JPS is back. Um, but it says her quest to reunite with her daughter, Charlotte, will set in motion a game of life and death. As for Dante, Lulu is as in love with him now as she was the day she fell into a coma. But his life is much changed. He's grieving Sam, and the family she left behind is shattered. Lulu can't bring herself to tell him how she feels. She doesn't want to intrude on his morning, but the longer she waits, the greater the chances that someone else will catch his heart or hers. My assumption is that
Oof.
that means Cody.
God, that's what I was gonna be like. I hope it's not Cody.
I think it's
He need
Cody.
to sit down.
They already did the little Kim test with them, so I think it's gonna be Cody.
Mm.
The Davis women, we got Alexis works double time to bring her two remaining daughters together, but Christina's resolved to settle her score with Ava, threatens to set back any progress and then some. At the same time, Alexis must navigate a tricky situation with Drew, whose pariah status has him considering relocating with Scouts. What a selfish asshole.
Right.
Drew, I hate you, bro. Like, I don't even know what else to say.
That's
Like, trash. Ugh. Sonny is hit with an existential crisis that has him re-examining his personal and professional lives. He'll be forced to make a big decision about his future, and anything that impacts the reigning mob boss of Port Charles will impact everyone on the canvas. Yeah, this is what I think. I mean, this is completely speculative. I do think that he like has some kind of health scare that makes him like wonder if he should still be the mob boss. Tries to give it to Jason, and Jason says no because he got Danny,
mm-hmm.
which is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
We got Michael's exit. Drew and Willow's affair has Michael's family crumbling around him, but he doesn't take their transgressions lying down. He's ready to fight back when a shocking act of violence has his plans go up in smoke. So I'm interested in seeing what that looks like because I do know that Chad is doing a little bit of press and has said that the door is open for him to come back. So I'm imagining that it can't be anything that like kills him. I also don't think they're gonna kill Sonny and Carly's kid. They've already killed Morgan. So that is something to look forward to. By the
I
way, y'all
hope it
can see that
doesn't.
they're advertising wigs to me, by the way.
Um, I'm hoping it doesn't end up with him going to jail.
I know.
Because again, I don't. He don't need to be going back to jail.
No, I do not want to see that. Um, Carly, mind you, so Tara, friend of the show, pointed out that this article has all these people called by their last names, like are not by wrong last names. Carly's last name is Spencer. It says Drew and
Yes,
Willow Quartermain. Willow is a Corinthos, actually.
right. Yes.
Um, so it says Carly has her hands full when she takes a lead role, looking after Michael's best interest. How far will she go to stick up for her son?
Very far. We all know that.
I know. I had like a little bit of a exchange on Facebook because there's like a big Facebook page and they were doing like end of the year awards and they said something like most propped character was Carly and like I responded. They wrote like a whole paragraph, and I was like, actually, I was like, that's not what propping means. And they kind of came back a little snarky. And they're like, well, what does propping mean to you? I was like, well, when I think of propping, I think of like a character who is like unknown or unpopular being like hoisted up by people who are more popular around them. So that's
Like
what
Cody.
happened. Like Cody. I
Yeah.
mean, Cody is a perfect example.
Mm,
Or you think about like what Violet did for Finn.
hmm
You think about what
Or
Tracy
yeah,
did for
sticking.
Finn.
Yeah, or sticking. Yeah, that's one thing. It's like Violet was almost in every scene that Finn was in because people liked her more than they liked Finn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also like scenarios, right? So like a lot of the audience didn't really care for Sona, so they had Christina constantly talk about how good that Nina was for her
hmm
dad. That's what
Right.
propping is. Carly is inserted for sure, and this is another example of them not giving Carly a story and inserting her into Michael's story. Carly is inserted for sure, but so is Nina. So is a lot of people. But
Mm.
propped feels weird. So anyway, I do wish they would give Carly her own story. But when they did that, y'all got mad that they were in Malibu, Florida. Um, Drew and Willow double down on their relationship, which will result in a raft of enemies aligning against them. An
Good.
unlikely alliance is formed in an effort to rip the blinders off Willow. Mm, okay. Her commitment to Drew will face a grave test as we get deeper into the year. All right. This is another one. Sasha's last name is Corbin.
Oh,
Sasha and Jason. Sasha
eek.
charts a new course for herself and the baby she's carrying. We didn't talk about this, but she told Maxie she was going to be leaving Port Charles. I think that we didn't talk about it because we know she's not. Um, the Scorpios and others coalesce to provide support, but she's determined to maintain her independence. That will prove easier said than done while working for the nosy Quartermains, and even more so when a request from Michael puts Jason in Sasha's path. So we're probably gonna get one of those like Michael asking Jason to like look out for Sasha. Rumor, this is not confirmed. Rumor I saw was that they were gonna ask that Michael's gonna ask Jason to pretend to be Sasha's baby daddy, which I hate.
Yeah, and
Um,
if anyone watches Steve Burton's podcast, they had Chad Duell on there, and Steve
okay.
Burton was like, "Why? Why would I take care of your kid? I already take care of you. I ain't trying to take care of you." He
Oh, so
had a lot of,
they did talk about
yeah,
this? Okay, I
yeah,
have
they
not
did talk
watched it
about
yet.
it. So I'm not gonna say anything more, but Steve Burton
No,
is
say
not
it
a fan
more. Say
of,
it more.
yeah, Steve Burton is not a fan of Sasha and Steve and Jason getting together. And Chad Jewell quipped, he was like, "Yeah, I understand. Here it is, my two uncles going after my ex or my women." They had a good time with it.
Okay,
So
that's funny.
yeah,
All right,
it
I'm
was
gonna watch this when we get done. I didn't know it was out yet.
yeah.
Okay. For his own part, Jason is thrusted into uncharted territory when he must disappoint Sunny twice. And
Yeah, so that goes to
Carly's,
your idea of
yeah,
Sunny asking Jason. Uh,
yeah. And I would imagine that Sunny, because we've already had him established that like Sasha's like family, so he'll be like, "What the hell
yeah,
is this?" Like, it makes
right.
sense. And Carly's strengthening connection to Brennan poses a slew of problems all their own. Yeah, because I kind of wonder, is Brennan trying to kill Valentine?
Yeah, or
Right?
maybe yeah. Because if I remember, I mean, Brennan and Valentine were working together a lot. But they're saying that Brennan was undercover. Maybe he really wasn't undercover. He's really just trying to keep Valentine away so people don't know the extent of how involved he was.
Right.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
that's what I think.
Hey, couple of the year.
Right. Ava and Rick. Ava's future is at
Yes.
stake when she allows Rick deeper into her life. But someone ought to warn Ava that Elizabeth is never far from Rick's mind. Meanwhile,
Oh,
Ava's I know. Meanwhile, Ava's indelible connection to the Corinthos and Spencer clans will either save her bacon or prove her downfall. Anna Devane. Just when she thought she was out, WSB intrigue draws Anna back in. Past is prologue when Valentine finds himself in deep trouble. Can Anna pull him out and make up for her mistakes? She can do one or the other, but maybe not both. Okay. So we'll get to
Mhm.
Vanna.
Yes.
Emma is a live wire. More Scorpio Drake, or more Scorpio Devane than Drake. I don't know what that means. Because her granddaddy was a mess. She's got a heart full of gold and knuckles of brass. She returns to Port Charles. Her return to Port Charles means headache and fun in equal measure for Jocelyn and the Scorpios and Anna especially.
Mhm.
I mean, if they, didn't want to be cowards, they could just make Emma and Jocelyn a couple. The Quartermains are rocked when a certain employee's misconception takes on a life of its own. On another front, Tracy takes up arms against Drew, but he provides a formidable enemy, especially when he enlists Gray, Martin Gray's legal aid. Martin will prove a match for Tracy, perhaps in more than one way.
Ooh.
Very intriguing. Tad Martin
Yes.
and Tracy Quartermain.
Yep.
Um, Then we got Laura. So Laura's medal as mayor, mother, and grandmother is tested. I mean, she's barely mayor, by the way. Her heart is full thanks to Lucky's return and Lulu's restoration. But wherever those two go, trouble follows. She'll get no respite in the office either. PC's mayor faces crisis on several fronts as Martin shenanigans create conflict across the canvas. Okay. And much worse, Cyrus looks to take more victims.
Uh-oh.
Okay. And looming over all is Sidwell, whose resettlement in Port Charles poses a unique challenge for our mayor. Port Charles will need her level best, and so will her old friend Sunny. There have been many ups and downs, more downs than ups recently. Will Laura be there for Sunny in his time of need? So we've also always heard that if Sunny wasn't like the mob boss, then people were kind of trying to take him out. So I wouldn't be surprised if like Sidwell becomes like a threat. I think I read
Hmm.
a rumor that Selena Wu was going to be back. So there's some interesting things that probably will happen for the mayor if the mob
Hmm.
boss is like wavering. Jack Brennan, the WSB does not put down stakes anywhere just cause. Brennan is running a long-term operation, one that will have a life-changing impact on a number of residents. But his success is imperiled by something a seasoned cynic could never have anticipated. Genuine romantic feelings. Carly could be his undoing.
Yes.
I know that's right. Um, LNL 2. We are beyond happy to have Jonathan Jackson back. Lucky and Elizabeth romance is foundational to our vision of General Hospital, but they've been apart for a long time. She may not be able to trust him with her heart, but she will trust him with her life. And she'll have good reason as they team up to uncover the truth about Sam's death. Sparks will fly, but the closer they get to Cyrus, the closer he gets to them. Mm,
Ooh.
okay. I mean, I love it because I love Eleanor too. Jocelyn takes drastic measures to unmask Dex's killer. So we do know that Jocelyn asked Brennan to like whatever. Um, so doing so will bring her to a crossroads. Her choices will change her life forever.
Hmm.
Mm. Kai and Trina try to find common ground as the new year begins and the football season ends. Oh my God, who cares? As 2025 progresses, they'll be confronted by burgeoning feelings, crises, intrigue, and adventure. A conflict elsewhere on the canvas will have Kai watching his back, but maybe by then, Trina will be watching it for him. This little height
Ooh.
difference, they're cute.
Yeah.
Um, Brooklyn and Chase's marriage is tested by a medical setback, a secret she's keeping, and a secret being kept from her about her. But only one person can keep a secret, and even Cirillos have lapses. The coming revelations will have profound impacts on Brooklyn and Chase's marriage and on the Quartermains, Cirillo, Falconeri, and Corinthos family. Meanwhile,
Mm,
Brooklyn and Lulu's mutual hostility makes a diplomat out of Maxie, but her attempts to strike peace may prove no match for the long-standing issues between her two friends. So the thought is that Brooklyn like knows that she had a baby, but doesn't know. Like people don't know if she knew that the baby lived or they put up for adoption, and only Lois knows that that kid is Gio.
yeah, yeah.
Here's my issue when they do stuff like this, and it was like I had the same issue when they did this to Portia. When you have stories like this it's not just a thing that happens. It's a fundamental change in the character that we know. It is trifling that Lois would have done this. So it's not just like a random secret that like happened while she was on screen. This is like a 20 something plus year secret that she's been keeping from everyone. That's a character change. Okay. Anyway, Cyrus's motives will become clear early in the new year. Hopefully, I'm tired of not knowing. His hit
Right.
list is growing, but if he doesn't take care, he'll find himself in the crosshairs. Lucy provides entree to PC's society for Moneybags Sidwell. But nothing is free with Lucy. She has desires to expand deception and will need more than Sunny's capital to make it happen. That's where Sidwell comes in. He alone possesses the resources needed to grow deception, and she's glad to avail herself of them, much to her partner's chagrin. But is their corporate angle just? But is their corporate angel just a devil in disguise?
He ain't in disguise. He's a devil.
For real. But I am happy to have Lucy back, and I think that we might see some Kim between her and Sidwell.
That'll be more comedy too.
Yeah, for sure. Um, and the actor that plays Sidwell was on he was on Jane the Virgin. And so he kind of knows how to be like funny, like he's kind of comedic. All right. Cody gets into more trouble with the law. What? But his reckless streak may ultimately prove financially and romantically rewarding, and he may prove a key role in what comes as Quartermain's secrets come to light.
Why does he get his own section?
I know. Here we go. The rift between Curtis and Drew widens, threatens to erupt into full-blown war. Oh, here we go. Selena Wu strikes a deal that will have troublesome repercussions for the Ashfords. Was faced with further trouble, Portia may find herself resorting to tactics similar to those she deployed against Heather. Portia,
Uh-oh.
girl. A chance run-in makes a confidant of Isaiah. His budding relationship with Jordan is called into doubt when she undertakes a dangerous mission to rid Port Charles of a growing threat. Okay. Ooh, I wonder if she like fake dates Sidwell.
Fake what?
Dates Sidwell.
Oh,
Um, Lucas and Brad, we take our hats off. Oh, here he is, name Van Hansis, who has breathed new pathos, humor, and authenticity into the role of Lucas. We look forward to developing Lucas's role at the hospital and in his family, and giving his romantic life a shot in the arm. Brad aims to get back with Lucas, but Brad, being Brad, he's prone to trusting more to his schemes than his own personal growth. One wrong move could stop the looming reunion in its tracks and leave Lucas vulnerable to the advances of a handsome and mysterious stranger. Boom.
mm.
Okay, that seems interesting. Some things to look forward to. We'll see how they actually develop out.
Yeah.
Um, we might be soaping next year, y'all.
And we got the gates to look forward to, so
We definitely have the
exciting
gates to look forward
times.
to, for sure, for sure. Okay. Well, thank you for rocking with us. Have a happy new year. We're not gonna see you till next year.
Yeah,
We'll probably do like some best of worst of on Instagram, just like thinking about the year in retrospect. Yeah, we just appreciate y'all. We appreciate you listening to us and telling your friends about us. We look forward to growing even more next year.
Happy New Year, y'all.
Happy New Year.